Man.
Hi everyone, it's Wong again, and sorry for the background, this messy background as always, this bad lighting or this messy look or whatever. But I just want to make this, the story time just in case I forgot about it, and I wanted to do it right away. I just put down my school bag, from school, and then everything, and I ran here, turn on my laptop, and start to film. Because I want to share to you one of my worst exam experience out of all, and this is something which just happened not long ago today. Okay, so that's why I want to make this video. So the background for this is today I've attended a speaking exam, and it's part of an exam called LPAT exam, which people like me who wants to be English teacher in the future have to attend. So you have to have that certificate in order to become an English teacher in Hong Kong. Okay, so this is what briefly I had. This is the exam I had. So as always, for me, when I have exam, I always prepared well. I do research beforehand, including the exam venue, because there are different venues I have to check. Google Map, ask people about it. The time was 6:30, and I decided that I should leave the university at 5 o'clock, so I can arrive there at around 6 o'clock. Oh yes, around 6 o'clock, so it's fair, right? 30 minutes earlier than what I was requested. So, I thought, everything is planned because I've checked everything there. And then I also checked where the school is, and according to Google Map here, it says it takes like 3 minutes walk to go there. So I thought, everything is planned. Even my friends told me it's going to be easy to find. I would say faith or any mystical force in this universe just want to play games with you sometimes. And, every nightmare that all students who go to exams fear of, happened to me today. So anything you think is a nightmare for exams happened to me today. So the first thing about the nightmare is, being late for an exam. So I would say, as I've mentioned, I did so many preparation. I've never thought that I would be late for an exam, and never, ever expected that my shoe was going to fall apart. That was the only thing that I never thought of. So around an hour before I left school, which is around 4 o'clock, I posted this Instagram story about my shoe about to fall off, and at that moment it was just a little gap, and it's not really worse. I could still walk and run. Not run, but definitely walk with it. I thought, it's not going to be a big deal, but what a bummer, because I love this shoe. And then, at 5 o'clock I left school, and when I arrived at the metro station, which is near the school, I looked at my Google Map and I followed it and walked. I found myself lost, standing in the middle of nowhere, where there's only highway and a few people around. So I was like, oh my god, I'm lost. So instead of relying on Google Map, because I realized Google Map sucks, I went to ask some people about it, and they were so nice. They actually helped me, but they were not sure about the place because they're not around there. So they pointed a lot of directions, but they were very helpful. And if you guys are watching this video, I thank you very much for that. Anyways, after asking that, I thought, perhaps I would, go to the direction where they point, and perhaps I would find that way. And the moment I turned and decided to run a bit faster, wow, that my shoe entirely fell off. And let me show you. This came off from this. So this one actually flew out the moment I turned around, and my shoe looked like this. So I will show you what it looked like originally. So originally it looks like this. Now it looks like this. It's entirely broken. So the moment this flew out, I couldn't run anymore. I couldn't run anymore because this is so thin. Even though I couldn't really touch the ground, but it pains. So I had to walk, and I was lost. I couldn't find my way, and there was only 15 minutes left. I knew I was going to be late, and the weirdest, most awkward thing is I was holding this with a bunch of things in my hand, running with this all the way. I think people kind of look at me strangely while I'm holding this. I didn't want to throw away this because I feel like I could fix it, being environmentally friendly. I just don't, and I love this shoe. Anyways, I just held this all the way, and then when I reached the exam venue, I couldn't find a plastic bag to put anything, so I put this right into my school bag, which is, oh my god, it's so disgusting, but there's no choice. When you're in this extreme condition, you had to do that. So I'll probably have to wash everything in the school bag, I don't know. But anyways, I just put that, and then when I got there, I was late. Actually late. Oh my god, my emotion was like dun dun dun, worst nightmare. And I entered into the exam venue. So luckily, those teachers or examiners there were very nice. They don't consider me as late, and they allowed me in. I was in the next group for the speaking team. So I thought, I bet the bad luck would end here, right? Well, this is when the second nightmare happens. For students who have attended exams before, the second nightmare is about the questions. When the questions is so difficult that you don't think you have ever encountered anything like this. Your brain is blank because you have no materials or resources in your mind, and the past papers you did was a totally different level from what you actually get. Okay, that's a worst nightmare for me. So So for this LPAT exam, one part is called encountering experience. So I'm just going to tell one of the most difficult questions I've get in the whole exam, because the rest, I would say, it's also much more difficult than the other past papers I've did, but it is not it is not as difficult as the following question that I had. So this is called the recounting experience, where you're given this question, and you have around 5 minutes, or I would say normally 5 minutes, to prepare for this question. And you are going to, after that, you will have 1 to 2 minutes to talk about this question on your own. So you have to talk for 1 or 2 minutes relating to this question. So no matter you are a native or non-native, English speaker, well, I'm going to give you this question, and you guys are going to try that, so you can, actually experience what I have been through. Hopefully you can experience. Of course, you are expert, you're someone, you're a genius. Of course you can do it, but for me it's difficult, and here is going to be a question. And I can guarantee, I've asked my friends who are from UK, who are native speakers, or, even though they're non-native speakers, but they're top students of my class, they couldn't answer this question in just 5-minute preparation. And remember, during this 5-minute preparation, you can't reference to Google, so which means you can't use your phone to Google any answers. You can't use dictionaries or any materials to reference to. You can only do this question based on your previous knowledge, knowledge that you have. Okay, so remember, when you do this question, don't cheat or whatever. Okay, so now please set your timer or whatever to 5 minutes, and then now, later on, after setting these 5 minutes, you can pause. I will show you the question, and you can pause this, and then when the timer ends, you can continue. Click this play button again, so you can actually, experience this whole thing. Okay. So this is the question. Question is, to what extent should private lives of people working in public office be exposed in the media? So what do you think? If you think it's a very easy question, congratulations, you're going to do well in this exam. But for me, I can't really understand anything. I've practiced so many questions, and the past paper questions are normally like, can you share your experience of teaching? What is the best experience of teaching? Who is your favorite teachers? These are past paper questions. And for this year, you actually asked me this question. And I would say I've asked my friends who had attended this exam as well, but they are from different time slot, which is like yesterday. My friend had another question, and it's about her experience of teaching and related students policy, which is something she actually knows. And when she talked about it, I could actually answer it. And now, when it comes to me, after preparing for so many times, so much, this question came up to me, and my head was blank. Actually blank. I've never attended a speaking exam where I couldn't write a single thing in my paper, preparation paper. And I'm just like, wow, what happened to me? Why does this mysterious force or whatever faith is doing this to me? I prepared so much, and this exam actually matters a lot to me, because it matters to whether I could get my job as an English teacher. And I'm going to graduate soon, and I'm going to find this job very soon. And now I'm not sure whether I could get a good grade from this, this exam. But yeah, as you can see, I'm laughing about it. I can't even feel sad or disappointed about it, because this is what happens. Students or anyone who's taking an exam. There's someone who told me once that when you take an exam, there's only 2 things to determine whether you can be successful in this exam. Your effort, and the second is your luck. Effort is something you can prepare, something you can control. You can do a lot of exercise, you can do a lot of things just to ensure that you can fulfill this requirement. But luck, is not something you can control. It's mysterious force or whatever, you just couldn't control. When it has to be bad luck, it has to be bad luck today. And well, the only thing to consolidate or makes you feel much better is by thinking that you've tried your best. And that's what I'm feeling right now. I feel like I've tried my best. I prepared so much, as you can see, and it ended up like a disaster, and I couldn't do anything about it. But still, I've tried my best. So the only way I can feel is happy, because I couldn't do anything. And feeling happy also because I have this super hilarious, embarrassing disaster to share with you guys. And sometimes days are just not as lucky as you expected, it's not as good as you expected, but always find the positive things, and always remember, when you try your best, you have nothing to regret. Yes, that's my message to you guys. So anyways, glad that I shared you this story, and hope you like it. And as always, I will always end this video by saying, remember to stop existing, start living, and be alive. Bye.